Call of Duty Zombies and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Something I've always thought about since I was a kid has finally been brought to life thanks to modding. Call of Duty Zombies is something that needs absolutely no introduction at all. It is the pinnacle of arcade-style zombies games. And just like me, I'm sure that Call of Duty Zombies has a special place in your childhood too. Call of Duty Zombies is one of those things that is so iconic that it gets remade in anything that gives you the power of creativity. Some notable games that COD Zombies has been remade in includes Gary's mod with the In Zombies game mode recreates COD Zombies almost exactly 1-to-1. Contractors, a VR game with a fairly new mod that brings the COD Zombies experience into VR, again almost 1-to-1. And finally, Minecraft, with a project from over 10 years ago known as ZombieCraft, which brings the COD Zombies experience into Minecraft. Today I'll be doing my best to contribute and bring the COD Zombies experience into the world of San Andreas. On with the modding. I decided to break down the core essentials that make up classic COD Zombies into a nice organized checklist. First things first, we need a nice open area to mess around in. So I hopped over in the good old Blender, designed this very basic test cube sort of map, and placed a fence around the perimeter to get things going. Next, I began working on the zombie as it required the less amount of work. A simple model swap, some zombie animations, and a small amount of code to bring the zombie to life. Before spawning, the zombie checks where CJ is and checks what round it is, and spawns accordingly just like in Call of Duty. If I'm standing near any of the 4 corners of the map, the zombie will spawn at that specific corner. The health of the zombie is based on what round it is. Huge shout out to zombicus.com for all of the zombie calculations I used for this part of the mod. Alright, so with the zombies being completely finished, I figured since I knocked out the easiest part of today's mod, why not tackle the hardest part next? The perks. I'll be using the OG 4 perks to keep things nice and simple. Quick Revive, Juggernog, Double Tap, and Speed Cola. I added the models to the game and lined them up nice and neat. Next, I added an accurate pop-up text for each perk for when CJ is next to them, prompting you to buy the perk, just like in Call of Duty. While the perk machine section of this mod was already coming together nicely, the hardest part was yet to come, actually making the perks work. I'll be back.
3 hours later.
Alright, I'm done, and I have some really cool things to show you. Starting from the top, we have sound effects. I made sure to be as accurate as possible to Call of Duty with this aspect. Here's what happens when the Zombies mod is started. You can hear the perk machines powering up, and even better, you can hear the consistent electrical hum from the machines indicating that they are indeed running. But it doesn't stop there. I even went as far as including the sound effect for when you bump into a perk machine. As a big fan of COD Zombies, it would be criminal if I didn't include this small detail. Next is the perk jingles. These work exactly how you'd expect them to. In Call of Duty, when you buy a perk, the ending of the jingle plays from the machine. So of course it's the same here. As you can see, this already feels extremely accurate to the source. You may have noticed that I also added the animation for CJ drinking the specific perk that was purchased. This was probably my favorite part of the mod to make, and yes, of course it works for the rest of the perks.
You thirsty, partner? You need a little revive.
So that's all the fun stuff done with the perks. Let's quickly run through what the perks actually do when CJ has them. Juggernog of course grants CJ a bit of armor that will allow him to take a few more hits before he dies. Double Tap increases the weapon stats of all the weapons from poor to the gangster tier. Here's the visual difference between the two, using the Colt 45.
You thirsty, partner?
Speed Cola speeds up the reloading of all weapons. And finally, quick revive. The only thing different here is that you cannot shoot while you're reviving, as I was way too lazy to make that happen.
Ow. Kill your ass.
I also added one more small detail that some people may not even know about. Take a look at what happens when you buy quick revive 3 times in Call of Duty Zombies when you're playing solo.
I am a better comrade for this.
You literally get quick revive snatched from you so that you can't scrub your way to high rounds. Of course, this is no different in my mod. With the perks being 100% completed, it was time to move on to something much easier. Wall weapons, a super necessary part of any Call of Duty Zombies mod out there. I could not wait to recreate these in San Andreas. I decided on 3 weapons to put on the wall: a pump shotgun, M4, and a minigun to spice things up. To make that iconic wall gun outline, all we have to do is load the weapon model into Blender, get a transparent side view render, pop that bad boy into Photoshop, and stroke the outline of the gun.
Stroke that thing, cuzzo!
After adding some finishing touches, this is how my wall gun outlines turned out. I slapped these things into the game, gave them the appropriate price tags, and did all the hard work behind the scenes to make the actual magic happen. Here is the result. With wall weapons being completed, I was one step closer to recreating the zombies experience in San Andreas. Okay, so to address the elephant in the room, Pack-a-Punch has not been mentioned as a part of this mod. It simply requires way more work than I consider worthy, so it will sit here and look pretty. That is all. Last but not least is the mystery box, the magical box that grants you a random weapon in exchange for 950 points. Again, I was super excited to recreate this in San Andreas. For the mystery box model, I actually have the top of the box as an entirely separate object so that we can easily open and close the box in game. Once I got the box opening and closing correctly, I added the jingle and recreated the mystery box system. Here is the final product of that. With everything done, I have finally recreated the foundation for a full zombies match in San Andreas. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more San Andreas modding, and enjoy the rest of the video.
Come on.
Now you better shut up.
Out of my way, man. Did you like your face? Don't touch me. Bring it on, dickweed. You bitch.
Oh, look, a girl. What did you expect? It's America.
Yeah, eat that, motherfucker. I'm a baller, man. That means something. Screw you. Don't touch me.